There's so much activity, let's just say, in the world, so many things. It's like living on a roller coaster on a daily basis. And us as leaders, we're trying to figure out, how do we provide the calm within the storm? How do we make sure that our organizations and our staff and our employees and even our families are able to be sustainable during this time? How can we lead in a way where we're building trust? We're doing all the things that we're supposed to be doing, but we're also hearing the people around us and we're empathetic to what they're going through. There's so much contention in the world right now. I think every day is a new day. We're trying to figure out what's happening in the business world, what's happening with the economy. So how do we as leaders, as parents, as people, stay on a positive path, on an even keel, so we can make sure that everybody around us has a safe place where they feel like they belong and they're able to share some of their thoughts with us? It's a slippery slope as a leader. We all have our own perspectives in life. We all have our own thoughts and values. And in a world that we're in today, it seems like it's people that are way on one side and then the others way on the other. And I don't want this to be political. It's more as to, how do we continue to maintain a positive mindset during this time, but also provide that opportunity for the people around us to have a safe place where they feel like they are valued, they're appreciated, they're heard, especially with everything that's happening in the world. So I want to talk a little bit about building that sustainable culture within our organizations, where we as leaders are being that leader that they need us to be right now. I don't even know a different way of putting it other than, how do we lead in a way where our staff, our employees feel valued, feel heard, feel appreciated? We've gone from COVID, where everybody goes to work from home, to the political culture that we're in, to just all these different massive changes in such a short period of time. And us as leaders, we're trying to figure it out too. It's kind of like being a parent. I keep telling my children, I'm waiting for that parent guide to be delivered to my house because I have no idea how to parent. I've never done it before. So we're all learning this as we go. And as leaders, we're kind of doing the same thing. Things have changed. The personnel have changed. The employees' mindsets have changed. It used to be about titles. Now it's about agency. So how do we as leaders really adapt to this? And so I've kind of broken it down into 4 things. And this is just for my own personal purposes of, how do I lead my own teams? So let's talk about the first one. The first one let's talk about is trust. How do we build trust with our staff, with our children, with our family, with our spouse, with our friends? How do we build that trust? And the best way of doing that is just really being vulnerable, being able to show up, being a leader, leading by example, being committed. One of the things I've always said is, I'll never ask you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And I tell that to my employees all the time. Now, again, that's easy for me to say. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not in a company of 10,000 employees. Obviously the most I've ever had under my own supervision was about 700 employees. But again, I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to build that trust. I'm going to build an environment where employees can feel safe to share their thoughts, where they know that if they make a mistake, it's not going to be a fatal mistake for them. Now, I say that, I always tell people, they come and it's the biggest mistake in their lives. Oh my gosh, you're never going to believe what I did. But my response is always, well, did someone die? And I know that sounds so trivial and, again, morbid, but at the end of the day, most of this stuff really doesn't matter. And there's always ways of us thinking of, how can we learn from this, even if it is a mistake? How can we learn from the lesson and pivot and get us back to where we need to be? But what I don't want to do is build an environment where my employees and my staff are paralyzed to make decisions. I want them to make decisions. I can't build the leader of tomorrow if I'm not giving them the latitude to be able to make decisions. Again, not always the easiest thing to do, and they may not have always done what I would have done or the way I would have done it. But at the end of the day, if the job gets done in a way that's beneficial to the organization and we achieve our goals, does it really matter that they didn't do it exactly how I wanted them to do it? No, it really doesn't. What it does is it helps them gain confidence. It helps build that trust, helps them know that, hey, I'm going to get their back no matter what. Now, again, if there's negligence or everybody's going to say, oh, well, there's always situations. There's always situations. And we can situation it to death. But at the end of the day, what I'm telling you is build that trust within your employees. Give your employees the ability to make those decisions, to build those confidence. Set the goals, set the objectives, but then let them find the path to reach those goals. And us as leaders, that's going to help build that trust for that sustainable culture.